flame. I need flame. I require flame. Flame.
Require psychiatric care.
I need something flamey in my life.
I know some people.
Uh-oh. All right. Incense is lit, just like me. Not lit yet, but...
Totally lit, brah.
All right. Viking.
Mm-hmm.
Cold. Ready.
Ready to go?
That's ready. Everything's ready. I think I got all my notes, everything.
Take me home tonight.
We could do it whenever.
Then go.
I hope we're ready.
Not even close, but let's start. Are we ever really ready?
So I have been readier than other times.
Well, welcome to this epic disaster.
Hey, you started really quick.
Thanks.
This, do you know like the last 3, maybe 4 weeks we've started the show? We may be the only podcast that actually has lube on the table. Did you know that? There's actually lube on our table. And when I say lube, right there, do you see the lube?
I see the lube.
That.
Why do you have, let me see, let me get the name of it. Is it, I don't even know this brand. This is like generic lube. This is generic lube.
It's slide oil for trombone.
Yeah, it's not real lube.
It's bone lube. It's trombone lube.
I'm not sure I would use that on a physical bone.
I actually have I have some creams. I have some oils.
Do I want to know these things?
And I have some special sauce. I have some... I have some special formula that I don't even know what it is, but I've been tromboning for a while. I'm not a big fan of the oils. This came with, this was like one of those things
that came with your bone.
Yeah, they just kind of throw it in, and I don't really use that. Okay. I like the creams.
Who doesn't? Good for your skin.
Anyway, yeah. So but we do have lube on the table. But we have a lot of things on this table right now.
Especially since you haven't cleaned in here in weeks.
I totally need to clean it up.
We have a naked woman on the table, too.
Wait a minute. Where's
nice.
that? I don't see that.
You can't. I can. And it's not me.
I wish I could see it.
It's on that piece of paper right there.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, folks, do. I don't know why I said do, but do. Do. Just do. All right? This is our new slogan.
There is no try.
Do. Thanks for joining us on this epic disaster. As you know from listening so far, this has been a disaster, and we like to keep up the disaster. But before we disaster,
we drink
any farther, I would like to join my co-host over there. What's your name again?
Cheri.
That's right. In a bottle of booze. We do a live beer review.
That dead roach is still on your floor.
It's my friend Charlie.
Oh, okay. Well, you should bury him properly.
I don't know who murdered him. Anyway, yeah, we do this every week. Now, see, I don't do you got mad because I did the explanation every week.
Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say...
I kind of stopped. And now we can do an explanation. And I will say this is darker than I expected. Go ahead and on your explanation.
All right. My explanation is this. At the beginning of every podcast, we like to open a beer. Mm-hmm. We will then taste this beer, let you know our initial thoughts on it. After that, we will then drink the beer during the entire podcast. At the end of the podcast, yes, I saw you made it into the garbage can. At the end of the podcast, we will then rate this beer, and you will then know what we think of this beer. Now, we are not experts. We do not claim to be experts.
We would want to be an expert.
No, because I've been an expert at drinking before, and that's not wise. However, we will let you know what we think of the beer, and then you can try it or not.
This is also the first time our incense has actually gone out. Right in the middle of the show. It's
right
gone
in front
out.
of you.
Maybe it's because I lit it.
I think that's it, because I normally do that.
And
so today, we are trying a brew that we have never had before. And normally, that's the case. Whatever we review on the podcast...
So far, always it's the case.
We have not drank before at all, or we have not drank it on the podcast.
I see.
Now,
that's correct.
Today, we're trying something that neither of us have had ever. It's called Viking Scottish-style Sour Ale.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's by D9... Wild Sours by D9 Brewing Company.
Viking Scottish-style sour ale. I didn't know that there was a Scottish-style sour. Okay, so you got the covers.
But you're Scottish and slightly sour.
Well, and I think I have some Viking ancestry, as I think you do. Don't you? Didn't you?
I have ass loads of Viking. Wait,
You have ass loads of Vikings. No. Oh my God.
Viking heritage.
It was quite a party, wasn't it?
No.
I like the illustration on this. Now that Viking is cool. And then what is it like lavender or something surrounding
The background is lavender or yes, it is
like
lavender.
Little...
And it's got little lavender flowers behind it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's... Did you smell it? Does it smell
did.
like lavender?
It smells sour. It smells a little vinegary.
Oh, good.
What's the
I'm
description
excited.
say there?
I'm going to read it. Give me a second. I can't see that well anymore. Okay.
Oh, it got a little bit of a wine smell.
Oh, good. Okay. A raiding party to your senses. Ooh, it's going to raid your senses. This Viking beer is meant to be enjoyed unapologetically, sweet, floral, and exploding with sour flavor. So it's sweet and sour. This ancient ale was created by the Vikings, claimed by the Scots, lost to time, and given rebirth by our brewers to share amongst the enlightened. So apparently we're enlightened.
All right, boy. Oh, that'll make your eyes water.
Oh, good. I'm excited. Okay, I'm going to try it.
That's sour.
Holy.
That is sour.
Oh, that's good.
It is.
That's like pickle juice and beer.
That's exactly what I was going to say before you drank, is it tastes like pickle juice.
No, that's awesome. I enjoy that a lot.
That is a
it's a good thing there's more downstairs. By the way, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that I have not been having an entire beer during the podcast because I'm on a special diet.
It's a cheat day.
And today I said, fuck it, and I'm having an entire beer. And I'm
Cheat day.
so glad I did because this is
a good
yummy.
one. Yeah, because the thing is, what would happen, you would drink a part of mine, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to go get another one.
We'd have to pause so I could go get one.
Pause
Yeah.
Before we do it. Well, while we do the beer review on the show, we always do a little Zabmondo. And we should do some Zabmondo.
Let's do Zabmondo.
Zabmondo is our little game. It's an actual game, but we don't play the game. We just read the questions. And the questions are, would you rather?
And that's what we're going to start with.
I feel like...
First. I go first.
You go first. What, drawing or
No, I want to
reading?
go first.
Okay, I think that's... Oh, you want to read? I think you did last time.
Read.
I think you went
choose.
first last time. That's my
It doesn't
point.
matter?
It matters to me.
Spoiled.
I'm keeping score.
You're spoiled. All right. It's yellow.
Yellow.
What is the yellow category?
The yellow category is random.
Nice.
Random.
I'm feeling
like
kind of
most of
random.
the things on the show.
Like me.
Random. Okay. Would you rather
I don't know.
sit on a toilet seat after someone has urinated on it,
Done that.
or clean the crap out of all the treads on the bottom of the shoe that stepped in it?
I would much rather sit and piss than clean up shit.
It doesn't really say shit. It just says clean the... Oh, it does say clean the crap. I thought it meant like you really clean the crap out of that.
No, they're just using less profanity than me.
But stepped in it. Okay, yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah, I don't want to clean poop.
Girls... Okay, A. Here's the thing. Most men, especially in public bathrooms, will lift the seat before they urinate, right? So the likelihood of there being man urine on a toilet seat is slim. But if you go into a women's restroom, and trust me, I've used both. If you go into a women's restroom and you, surprisingly, more often than not, at least one of those toilets has piss on the seat.
Who's doing that?
Because women have this weird thing. Now, I don't do this.
Oh, they don't want to sit
hover.
down. Oh.
They hover because they don't want to
happens.
touch it. So they hover. And then they piss all over the place, and then they don't clean it up.
Men have this thing, we just want to cover. We just want to cover the seat with our potty. It's something we learned as a child.
Okay.
And I don't know. You know, peeing for a dude is very, very close to a video game. Really, really close.
They actually make little games for kids learning how to stand up and urinate, little boys, for potty training. So they will put little targets
I've
in
seen
the toilet.
those. Well, they do those for grown men, too.
Oh, just for fun?
Sometimes.
Do you have
need
any?
it. I don't have any at my house.
I'm going to get you some.
No, I'm not going to go that far. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, men's restrooms, as you might imagine, are just disgusting.
Well, they stink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, public restroom. I mean, when you go somewhere like a restaurant or something where they take care of the rest, it's so nice.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, if you stop at, a
Convenience
Shell
store,
station
sure.
at some rural place on the way to Kansas.
Which you've done before.
And I mean, there's always holes busted through because they're always trying to peek into the girls' restroom. Did you know that?
No.
We actually have closed caption. I mean, not closed caption, but we got cameras that are aimed into the women's restroom. So we have video. We can actually watch the women in there doing things.
Why would you want to watch anybody do that?
I don't particularly want to, but
I mean, they're just in there
do.
defecating and urinating.
Oh, baby.
It's
I don't know. Some dudes enjoy that, I guess.
It's not like they're in there like suddenly, oh, hi, you're in here too? Oh, hi. Let's make out like girls make out in man movies. That's not what happens.
This is a bit of a tangent. I don't want to go too far into this, but I watched a documentary. And I think you can find it on Netflix right now, maybe. Okay. I can't remember in documentaries, but there was a dude. And this dude owned a hotel, a little motel. You remember the little side-by-side motel kind of things? Mm-hmm. He owned a motel for years.
Okay.
And he built a crawl space above all of the rooms. And that was his regular thing, is he would watch people in their rooms.
Wait, like above the room? So he would climb in like the attic area?
Yep. And he had little vents installed. He would watch. Sometimes he would film.
I've seen serial killer movies that start this way.
You should watch that. It's a very, very interesting documentary.
Frightening, actually.
Yeah. I mean, he did it when he was really young, and then he got, as he grew up and became an old guy and retired.
Yeah.
He told his story to, and now I can't remember, it'll hit me later, but a very, very famous author who did a story about it in like the New Yorker or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so this guy suddenly got a lot of attention. And I think he wrote a novel about it. And so the guy suddenly started getting very paranoid, even though it happened a long, long time ago. But
he thought everybody would know it was him.
I know I have a certain element of paranoia in me, but I do not go into a hotel room without looking up at the vents or even the smoke detector, and I just think, how do I know there's not a camera in there?
Okay, here's the difference between me and you. When I walk into a hotel room, I always do a little inspection of my own, but I do not inspect for cameras. I inspect for bugs because I have serious OCD surrounding bed bugs.
Yes.
And I have serious OCD, not as serious, around just normal bugs like roaches. So I am freaked the fuck out by the idea of bed bugs. So I pull all the blankets off the bed. I pull everything and I look. Now, if there's a camera in a vent, whatever, you want to watch me pick my nose and scratch my ass. That's
what
fine.
I think too. I don't know why I care. I'm just like, if someone wants to see a fat middle-aged guy in the bed watching The Price is Right, go for it. I mean,
want to watch me order a bottle of wine from room service and sit there and just drink it and order like bottle of wine and French fries. And that's dinner.
If it's young, hot, some people or something, I mean, at least I can understand why they would want to do it. But no one wants to see me. Really, they don't.
Not really.
And so, anyway. But I do. I check it.
Okay, so it's your turn. Let's get
My
on
turn.
with the Zob Mondo.
I get to do the Mondo here.
That was a nice little conversation starter, but let's do a better one.
I always like to predict the color that I'm going to get. I'm predicting green today.
And you're never right.
It's blue. I always get blue.
Not always.
I get blue every week.
No, you don't. You got purple last week. Lying sack.
That sounds kind of dirty.
You should talk to your wife about that.
Sorry.
Okay, so blue, the category is appearance or embarrassment, which oftentimes your appearance can cause you embarrassment. Mm-hmm. Okay, so would you rather suddenly have joints that don't bend or joints that bend the opposite way?
Wait. Would the joints that bend the opposite way, I'm assuming that means without my control and I can't put them back?
No.
So it's like all of a sudden my knees work the other way and I can't do anything about it?
Right. So I think what they mean is, okay, all your current joints, right? Would you rather them not bend?
Okay. So
or would you rather them only bend the opposite way?
Well, that's a weird kind of question.
It's an extremely weird question.
Neither would be pleasant, I suppose. But when like my elbows are suddenly flipping and my knees are going the other way.
Right.
My jaw is a joint. What's going to happen there? It moves across instead of up and down.
Yeah, that question's not really.
It's kind of weird, but I think because I don't want joints that don't move. would just.
I mean, think about your fingers.
I know.
So how would you draw?
How would
you do anything if your fingers suddenly all bent backwards?
How
you'd have to write like this.
I would look at people in the hotel room.
But your wrists would only go this way.
From the attic. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I have to pick that one, I think.
And what about the joints that rotate?
I know.
Do those just no longer move?
Those,
I don't know.
I guess they're joints.
That's a kind of a jacked up question.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, neither. If I had to pick, I would say probably don't move because you can always get a nurse to work on you.
Of course you can.
But I guess you could if you're. But no nurse wants to work on a dude with his knees bent the other way.
Unless you pay her enough.
I guess maybe. Okay. All right. Well, we Mondo this week.
Nice. Okay, done.
Is that the show?
Yep. Bye.
Hey, I have a disclaimer that I need to talk about. This is embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing disclaimer.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
A little embarrassing. I
love listening to you be embarrassed.
It's only slightly. I mean, it's embarrassing, but I offer an apology. It's not a huge deal, I guess, but sort of is. We're offering stickers to people, free stickers.
Right.
If you want a free sticker, people, all you got to do is call us. Not call us. Send us email.
Don't call us. Please don't call me. I won't answer.
Send us email telling us what your mailing address is. We will send you free stickers.
Yes.
And so my little disclaimer is about the free stickers. Okay, so we don't do the podcast anymore, but we did our other podcast for a year, Life to Kill podcast.
No, you did not.
What?
You sent somebody from This Epic Disaster.
No.
Oh, okay.
I put those on my car. Looks great. So like a year later.
It's almost blue now.
Starting a little bit to fade. Now they're kind of blue. They started off rich purple.
Yep.
Okay. So, but that's okay. You get a whole season out of it. That's not bad for a free sticker.
A year.
Okay, so I put the This Epic Disaster sticker on my car, 3 weeks ago maybe? It's already fading.
No, it's been on there for a hot minute. It's been on there longer than 3 weeks.
It's not been on there longer than a month. We
sure?
haven't had the stickers that long.
Yes, we have.
It's already fading. It's already starting to fade. And here's the thing, and I should know this as a graphic designer, red and yellow always fade in the sun. So,
and they also make you hungry.
Well, don't eat the stickers. That's one thing.
Okay.
But if you do get one of these stickers, now, okay, so I put it in my window on the back of my Subaru, and it's sort of tilted up toward the sun.
Yep.
If I put it down where the bumper is, I think it'll be okay.
Not for long.
This hot Atlanta summer, I don't know. So
I haven't put any on my car yet because I have to wash it, and I'm lazy ass, and I haven't washed it yet.
Well, I prefer people put it on the car because it's free advertisement. We want people to see it.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's the deal. If you do that, if you put it on your car and it fades, send us a request. We'll send you another one.
Actually, even better, send us a picture of where you put that sticker and how long it took to fade.
Yeah.
It's for science.
I mean, it's not faded out. It's just slightly starting to fade. It's a little earlier than I think that it should. So what I'm thinking about doing is making a black and white version because I think that logo would look really cool black and white. So I think we're going to have a black and white sticker.
Let's do that.
For that too.
Now, before we get into the meat and bones...
Let me just say one more thing while we're still talking about stickers. I'm just going to plant a little seed. I'm going to plant a little seed.
All right.
Right now, more information coming later, but right now, we have special T-shirts being made.
No.
Yes, we do. They're going to be awesome when they're done.
Do I get one?
If you want to pay for it.
Screw you.
I got to pay for it.
Buy me a T-shirt.
Don't get anything free in this place.
Damn it. All right.
But yeah, we will be introducing those later. I'm not going to say any more about it other than they're being specially made for us.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
Me too.
Okay.
I know they're going to look good.
So before we get into the meat and bones, is that what it is?
Are we having meat and bones?
Or is it meat and potatoes? I like meat and bones personally, or meaty bones.
Meaty bones.
Wow. All right, so
you're really trying to make something dirty that's just not working today.
It's not working at all.
I mean,
although I do like men with a little meat on their bone.
Okay.
I do. I prefer that over.
Or women, men. Okay.
I don't like skinny.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
All right, whatever.
Okay, moving on.
Move on.
Before we get into this podcast, I would like to discuss just a quick note about last week's podcast.
Last week's podcast was about.
We discussed some friends that I was visiting with, and I had made a comment to my friend about, hey, how does that affect your sex life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then I got that whole kind of awkward, like,
they
whoa.
unfriended you on all their social media.
Not at all.
They reported you to the cops.
Not at all.
They called you up and said, why don't you come over?
No. Well, no.
I don't know. I'm out of ideas.
So what happened was, a following evening, or maybe a couple of nights later, I was at their home, and out of nowhere, I was told by the wife of this couple that she was glad that I was good friends with her husband.
Male-female friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And we discussed that for hours.
Yeah.
And hours.
I know.
And minutes on the last podcast.
We did.
And it just came out of nowhere. The podcast hadn't even been released yet, so she hadn't heard it yet. And I hadn't mentioned that we talked about it. But out of nowhere, she just mentioned this to me, and I was just like, damn.
It's pretty cool that a wife would say to a woman, I'm glad you're good friends with my husband.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Because she gets tired of hearing some of his shit, and I enjoy listening to it. So she's like,
because you have to listen to my shit, so you're trained.
I am
in the art of shit listening.
But his isn't shit. His is stuff I'm actually interested in, unlike you. So, So then today, the husband of that couple listened to the podcast, and we had a little text session in which he was like, no. He said it wasn't awkward at all. He said he was a little shocked at first when I asked the question, and that's where the whoa came from.
Yeah.
But no, he said there's no reason to feel weird or awkward.
I don't think so either.
And
That's
so
good, though.
I think it's very cool that
you were a little
people,
nervous that maybe they would kind of like, stop communicating with you.
And you said I was being neurotic.
Yes.
And I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm always right, even though you'd rather listen to someone else. I'm always right.
No.
Pretty much.
No.
Most of the time. So we had some what you call that? Email.
We did. We
Listener
got some
mail. Listener email came to us this week. We get it occasionally. We don't always get it.
We get what? Oh, email.
We got it this week.
So this is from J-Man.
Our friend J-Man.
Yeah. So J-Man says, I had a comment about the drone issues.
Yeah, remember we talked about the drones that could look through walls and stuff?
Yes.
We were worried about
I've slept
that.
since then. I'm sorry, I've slept.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a comment
about... Oh, man, I
about
hope he hasn't had a drone on us the whole time. That would be weird. We're doing a show and he's spying on us with a drone.
Unless you're an exhibitionist.
I'm not, as you know.
This is true. All right. So there's a guy. This is what J-Man says. He says there's a guy in a nearby neighborhood who was arrested for trespassing with his drone. He was flying it over people's houses, and a deputy who lived there told him to stop, but he kept doing it. He also took an aerial picture of a house that a young woman just moved into, and he had it framed and gave it to her as a housewarming gift. I mean, people do that, right? People
That's creepy.
No, I mean, okay.
Hey, I've got some of your panties framed. Here you go.
No.
Whoa.
This is the thing. When I lived in hell, also known as...
Yeah.
Anyways, when I lived there, we got an aerial photo of our home and framed it and put it in the house because it's kind of neat to see your house from another angle.
Who did it? Who took the picture?
Well, back then, I mean, this was years and years ago.
They just tied a camera onto a bird.
Or no.
They didn't have drones back then.
Triplane.
Just an eagle had to carry the camera.
Yes, a trained eagle took a picture of my house.
Had a GoPro, maybe.
Anyways, but he did this without request. He apparently
That's
just
officially creepy.
Did this and just gave it to her like, here, I've been looking at the top of your house.
Hey, my drone took a picture of you. Here you go.
Nice.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Next time you should use a better lotion when you shave.
Hello.
What? Okay, so needless to say, she was a bit creeped out. Yeah. And she filed a police report.
Go for it.
Right?
Do that.
So the same deputy that told him to stop flying the drone responded to the call, and that's when this dude was arrested.
Oh, man.
There's a huge gray area concerning drones right now.
Yeah. And then wouldn't it be kind of cool if he said, oh, before you arrest me, here's a picture of your house.
Right? Because he lived in the neighborhood. Isn't that what he said? By the way, I did one for you, too.
Oh, man, that's creepy.
So there's that.
I mean, I'm not even a girl. I'm not even a woman.
Not today.
Not fully yet. Still got a few more shots left. But that would creep me out if someone knocked on my door and brought me a picture of look what my drone did. Unless it's like a 14-year-old kid that's just got it for Christmas. Like, hey, hope you like this. I mean, that's still creepy too. But
so a 14-year-old kid that's into drones and into printing, photography, and framing.
That's pre-creepy.
That's
on their way to Creepville.
Yeah,
right there. But I mean, I'm just saying I wouldn't be as creeped as if it was like some 44-year-old dude walking up.
So J-Man has more to say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But he's in the drone life now?
No. I just don't know if we need to get into this part of it right now. You think we should save this for later?
So like have a part 2 of the email?
Nah, let's do it now. Okay, this is one of my favorite things on the planet.
What?
Just so you know.
So what are we doing?
He says to me in the email, he says, hey, Cheri, that's me. He says, I have to say that I love the dad jokes. Yay! I do too.
Oh, man.
I do too. He says, keep telling them. Yes, I will. I will always tell dad jokes.
What is wrong with him?
So he can retell them to his daughter, who also loves corny jokes. I love these people. I do.
That's insane. I would rather have a drone take a picture of my ass than hear one of your dad jokes.
He gives me a couple of jokes here, and I'm going to read them to you now.
No.
Yep. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to read a couple of my own. So if you're listening to my voice at this moment,
I need to go to the bathroom. Can you just do this while I'm gone?
To prepare for the dad jokes. Okay, shut up. All right, so joke number 1. I got hit in the head today with a Diet Coke.
What?
Don't worry, I'm okay. It was a soft drink. Oh, man. That's awesome. Okay.
Dumb.
No, you didn't.
That was a good
No,
one.
you didn't. Just make your own pun.
That was the best one I've heard so far.
Actually, it was awful.
It was pretty bad.
Okay. So then he also gives me another joke, which is, want to hear a construction joke? I'm still working on it.
No.
Yes. That's awesome. Okay, mine are better. So what I have...
You should never try to top the audience. Our listeners, you should always say that theirs is better.
When it comes to dad jokes...
You think yours is better.
I am the bomb.
I don't know.
All right, so...
I don't think you're as good as you think you are.
I only have one for you today.
Well, that's enough. I mean, really, it's one more than I'd like to have.
All right, listen up. A slice of pie is $2.50 in Jamaica.
Okay.
It's $3 in the Bahamas.
Okay.
These are the pie rates of the Caribbean.
So stupid.
No, it's not. It's awesome.
So stupid.
They're the pie rates of the Caribbean.
I'm going to shut this podcast down and hose it off.
No, please
I'm
don't.
going to power wash it. It's crazy. I have a problem.
What?
With that.
Why?
I have a problem. What? Why are
Who
these...
pays $3 for a pie?
No. Why are these called dad jokes? I feel like this is... I feel like... Because you're telling the jokes and you love it and you're doing it with gusto. Why are these associated with dads? Because obviously you like them. So women like them. Why aren't they mom jokes? What is it? Why do we need to put the dads down in this world? That's my question. Why isn't it mom? I don't like it. I don't like it.
No,
I think it's wrong.
I don't know. Some people call them grown jokes.
Grown? Because, well, I mean, they're definitely that. But
they're not. I giggle.
But they become dad. That's the label.
Dad joke.
And two, I'm going to tell you, I've actually heard some funny dad jokes.
Uh-huh.
But people want to act like they're really bad because they're dad jokes. And I don't think that's fair either. I just feel like
these jokes are funny.
It's another way to put down men.
Okay, you're right.
It is. It's to make us look silly.
Or stupid.
We're like the last group of people that you can put down and make look silly, and we can't do anything about it.
You know what I think it means, though?
I don't like it.
What I think the whole phrase dad joke means is that dads are just kind of happy-go-lucky, and
they're
regardless...
out of touch and they tell bad jokes.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they're just like, yeah, your mom's in a mood, but listen... I got a joke for you. And that's how my dad was. So that's kind of why I love them, is regardless of what mom was up to that day, dad was just all about the funny. And
but the joke, dads tell good jokes sometimes.
All my dad's jokes were good.
I know.
Even the bad ones.
I just don't think that they should be called dad jokes. Let's call them uncle jokes.
No, because I don't know.
Yeah, uncles usually tell weird jokes.
Or
like I'm an uncle, and I save all my bad jokes for
You're an uncle.
my nieces and nephews.
Uh-huh.
So they should be uncle jokes. I'm okay with that, I guess.
Okay.
But not dad jokes. Dads work too hard. Dads go out, they provide for the family, a lot of times with the mother, a lot of times.
Or not.
Yeah. And then they come home and they're resting and people make fun of them for the jokes they tell. I just say honor your dad. Don't put the dad jokes onto the dad.
Are you saying that because this Sunday is Father's Day?
I thought it was last Sunday.
I think it's this coming Sunday.
I don't know.
Your dad's dead.
I know. I don't have to buy a present.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
I don't either. I love my dad every day.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell him on one day that I love him.
Well, thanks for the dad jokes.
Wait, was it last weekend? Okay, now you got me. Okay, I have to look that up later.
We didn't look it up later. But to J-Man. J-Man, if you don't have a nickname and you're a regular listener to the show, we have a lot of people listen to the show. A lot of people listen to the show.
Yeah.
And they probably don't have nicknames. But if they want one, we'll give them one.
Okay.
This is right in.
I mean, we've said that before.
Sticker and a nickname
and
you get free.
No one has hit us up for a new
Well,
nickname.
not everybody wants to. And some people are still thinking about it, whether they can have their own nickname. They can just call us.
Just tell us what it is.
Yeah.
And we'll call you by that.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like everybody who listens to the show should have a nickname. I don't have a nickname. I need a nickname of my own. I don't know what that would be.
Rick Roll.
Nah.
Nah. Okay. What would mine be?
A lot of people call you Sherry Berry.
That has been my nickname since I was born.
That's what I'm saying. You have a little bit of a nickname.
Or Cher Bear.
Yeah. There's no... most of the nicknames for Rick are dirty. Because you usually go with a rhyme like Sherry Berry. And so when your name is Rick and you're in high school, you're getting rhymed with all of those dirty words.
What, like Hick?
No.
Nick?
No, we won't go into it. But I mean, that's
Tick?
usually what happens. And
okay.
So I don't have a good nickname. I need a good
okay.
nickname. Let's talk about this.
What? Boobs?
So, I like to think I'm an intelligent person. I know I do this podcast and there's not a lot of proof, but I like to think I'm pretty intelligent. I like to think I'm a person under control.
You're a thinker.
I like to think I'm a thinker. I like to think I can be immature. I can play around, but I think I have a mature mind. I think I can be serious when I need to be serious.
For the most part.
I like to think that my life is basically under my control. I don't like to think that that I give in to marketing type of things.
Right.
I've noticed sometimes, and I think we mentioned this one time before, like if I'm watching a TV show and popcorn comes on the TV show, I gotta go get popcorn.
Yes.
There's a few things like that.
Yes.
That as soon as I see it, I gotta go get it.
And you are the worst about the popcorn.
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah, I had some today. But I like to think overall that I'm pretty much in control. That if someone posts something on Facebook or something, that I could look at it and I go, oh, that's a scam. I'm not going to fall for that. Like clickbait. It's just like, oh,
right.
And then see what he did next.
Yeah.
And it's like, no,
I don't want to click through things.
Yeah, I'm not going to see what he did next.
Tell me
Screw
or
you.
I'm
You're
scrolling
gone.
on. Yeah.
I will click on almost every picture of boobs that shows up on anywhere on the internet.
I knew it.
What is wrong with me?
You are a man.
I don't buy that. I don't want that to be an excuse.
Let me rephrase. You are a heterosexual man.
I have gay friends that say that they're obsessed with boobs. I don't think it's a heterosexual thing. It's just a thing.
It's a thing you don't have and you're curious about.
I don't have other things I wouldn't always click on. What is it about? Because it's proven. It's an advertising thing. That's why they use boobs and cleavage in all kinds of marketing stuff. Why do we stare at that stuff?
Because they're beautiful. Boobs are beautiful.
I know, but it's just flesh. What is it about it that we just gotta look at? There was a time when you're young, when you're 8 or 9, when you just think they're gross. Everything about women is gross. You're not interested in it really,
right?
Then there's comes a point where you're like, oh, what? I can see a boob, see a naked boob, and then you want to look, whether it's Playboy, whatever. You're gonna take a peek, or your phone. I forgot they're 9-year-olds this year.
Yeah, they have phones now.
It's right there, and then it's all you ever want to see
for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your freaking life,
exactly.
And I remember. Man, I shouldn't say this out loud.
Do it.
But I can remember I spent a summer one time working in a tourist resort.
Okay.
And the highlight of my day was being able to see a naked boob, because women will walk around with nothing on underneath because it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, dudes
Yeah.
are wearing nothing.
Sure.
So why shouldn't they? And occasionally they would turn a certain way or something. And I'm working and it's just like, boom, score. Got to see a boob. All right. Thank you.
So not just side boob and not
No,
just
all
under
boob.
boob.
All boob.
But all boob.
You just, I mean, maybe they're bending and picking something up and they're wearing a loose shirt or this. I mean, but when you stop and you go and you think about it, just like, what kind of pervert am I that I'm just looking at some stranger boob?
You're my kind
but
of
you
pervert.
can't stop it. Why can't I stop it? Why can't I control the boob looks?
I don't know. I'm more
What
of
is
an
it
ass
about?
woman.
What is it about boobs? What is it about the boobs?
I'm more of an ass woman.
I've seen, like, there are some women that can't stop. You know, you see the fake boobs, and then sometimes they're okay. You know they're fake, but you're like, okay, they're still pretty good. And then there's some that's like, okay, that's a little much right there.
Yeah.
And then there's some that's like, no,
No, just
you
don't.
just quit.
Just stop.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're only doing it because, I mean,
Shock factor.
the boobs are bigger than they are.
If you have boobs that each one is larger than your skull,
Yeah.
they're too big.
Yeah, but they do it because they get fame out of it and stuff like that. Well, I don't like it. I don't like being under control of just this. I just don't like it.
Do you know what's weird? I was just thinking about it because I prefer to look at a woman's rear end than look at her boobs. I always have. I'm
Me
an,
too.
I'm an ass girl.
I am too.
You're
Not
an ass girl?
I've been called that before, but that's not what I am.
By me. Okay, but you'd be surprised because I do like cleavage,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily like boobs.
Oh, no. What does that mean? You don't necessarily like
Okay,
boobs?
I won't say I don't like them.
You don't prefer them over...
I don't prefer them over other body
Right.
parts, but cleavage is good.
Some cleavage is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. I just don't understand because it's almost a universal thing that, like I said, I know a lot of gay men that say they're obsessed with boobs.
Uh-huh.
And I know heterosexual women who appreciate good boobage. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. So I just decided to do a little boob research.
Okay. Let's hear it. What'd you come up with?
Well, I found out a few things that I wanted to read about.
All right.
Read to you.
So normally in the T and A equation, we normally talk about A. Today we're going to talk about T.
Wait, if you want to say that, I'm just going scientific here. I want to talk about, because I'm trying to figure out what it is about boobs that make me lose control. It sounds like a song. But okay.
Were you breastfed?
I don't think so.
You don't know?
I don't think so.
How do you not know?
One time when I was in college. But I don't think so.
How do you not know?
Well, I was never told, and so I mean I was there, but I don't remember a lot of stuff.
Your parents never told you if you were breastfed? Or
No,
not?
but just kind of knowing facts, I would think not. I know my mom fed formula a lot, so I don't know if she ever tried. I don't know that celebrating breastfeeding when I was an infant was had the glory that it does now. It's much more private, and probably there might have been some shame attached to it in certain areas of middle-class white culture. you know?
I was the only one of my mother's 5 living children that was not breastfed.
Okay, maybe that's why you turned out like you are. I don't know. Could have something to do with it.
Probably.
I always liked Rodney Dangerfield's joke. He's like, what do you say? I was an ugly kid. My mother breastfed me through a straw. I always liked that one.
That's a great joke.
Okay, so these are some...
Although it makes me think of that commercial where they stick a straw in an orange, and that just sounds painful.
Yeah. Well, okay, so there's some scientific reasons why they think that we are attracted to boobs.
All right, let's hear it.
And I didn't know a lot of these. Some of these surprised me. Some of these I don't. A lot of these I don't agree with. Okay, I had this. We were going to talk about this last week, and so I didn't read up on it because I was ready last week, and now I've kind of forgot a few things. Okay, so here's the first one that I read a lot, and I just don't agree with it. However, it sort of plays into what you were talking about.
That's not going to stand there on its own.
No. It sort of plays into what you were talking about.
Okay.
So some scientists believe
Yes.
that evolution made boobs look like your butt.
They think that's evolution?
Here's the thing. So what they point out is like when you look at primates, monkeys,
Yes.
chimps, baboons, they have a very well-developed butt.
Yes,
and
they
a lot
do.
of times colors on it, because that's how they
Attract each other.
do the sexy thing.
Right.
The sexy dance.
Is with their butt.
That's right.
It's called twerking.
Yeah. And humans don't. Humans are the only animal that does sex face to face. Only ones.
Right.
Well, we started off doing it the other way, especially if we're in like primitive primate culture.
Well, yeah.
And then we gradually turned around. We started, well, hey, she's kind of nice looking. I think
We started facing each other
I'd
during
rather do it this way.
intercourse. Yeah.
And so what happened is the attributes of the butt moved to the breast. So that's why you have the cleavage, just like you get the cleavage in the butt. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of round like a butt. Mm-hmm. But it's a butt chest. It's a chest butt, basically.
Interesting.
And so they feel like it kind of moved so that the women can attract men like the same way that primates do from behind, that women could do it from the front using their chest butts.
I don't have a chest butt.
I'm gonna start calling it.
I mean, I have one. I can make one.
Yeah,
But
so I feel like that's horse crap. I don't buy that.
I agree. I don't think it's an evolutionary thing. However, as you said that, I remembered years and years ago, I read something in which women used to cover their décolletage, which is their chest, essentially. And however, they would expose the top of the crack in their rear.
I like that fashion. I'm all for it.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. So that would essentially be their cleavage.
Mm-hmm.
So that part of what you just said makes sense to me. But even though I have never actually seen an image of a woman wearing a garment that covered their décolletage and showed their ass.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true either.
Well, I just feel like, okay, so if it developed because we're now doing it face to face, why didn't women just get boobs on their face? That would have been hot.
No, it's not hot at all. My eyes are up here, asshole.
That's what I'm looking at. Your boob eyes.
Boob eye. Ew. That's like that
She's
cartoon
got
of the
boob
dog
eyes.
who's at the stripper club, and when she comes out, his eyes stick out of his
Yeah.
face. I always thought those look like really elongated boobs
Really?
when that happens, because his little pupils stick out too,
Yeah.
like little nipples.
It's on Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Does that. Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, we're getting into a lot of weird areas, which we knew we would. That's why we do the show. We have to explore these things. You don't hear people exploring this on other podcasts. You don't hear it on other shows. It's left to us.
Which is why those are popular, and this one is not.
That's why they have an audience. Ours don't. All right, number 2, the link between breastfeeding and bonding. So they believe that you're attracted to boobs because you liked breastfeeding when you were a child.
Huh. Wow.
That kind of makes sense, doesn't
It
it?
does now, yeah.
But here's something interesting that I found out.
What's that?
I didn't know this.
What?
So, okay, when a mother breastfeeds her baby, and there's words in here.
There's words.
It releases oxytocin,
yeah.
which is called the cuddle hormone.
Yes.
Which they sometimes call it. And that releasing bonds the mother to the baby.
Yes.
And it makes her fall in love with the baby's looks and just the baby in general.
Right.
So it releases that stuff.
Oxytocin in the mommy brain, and make the mommy like the baby.
Yep. And it also relaxes her.
Yes.
They believe, some scientists believe, again, some scientists are full of shit, but
right.
they believe, some of them do, that when you are into breast play during sex, that the same hormones get released in the woman's brain.
Well, yeah.
And so she makes that connection with the person she is with.
Exactly.
And on the same level as she does with her baby.
I don't know about the same level, but there's absolutely a connection there.
So in some ways, that particular, I'm trying to do this as best I can tactfully, but in some ways playing with the titties.
Good luck. Just my luck to you.
Helps the woman more than the man. I don't believe that, but a scientist believes it. That's what they're telling us. So you're really kind of helping. You're really trying to help the woman out.
Well, okay, no, I'm going to rephrase that for you.
This podcast is not for children.
I'm going to rephrase that
unless
for you.
They're breastfeeding. Then
when a man and a woman like each other a lot, and they're doing the thing, and he plays with her breasts, he's actually doing what he saw the baby do. I think this is how it happened. He saw the baby do it and found out how much she stuck to that baby and stuck by that baby. So he's like, I'm going to use that shit.
Men are not that smart. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just don't think men
That's
are that
the only
smart.
kind of evolving that I know
I just think that action there, and really it could be a combination of all of this stuff, I guess.
You're making my nipples hard, by the way.
Oh, my God. We got to stop the podcast.
Sorry.
I need to go mow the lawn. Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry. Okay, move on.
So, it just could be a little bit of all of this.
Right.
Okay, so the final thing is, and this seems more realistic, but I see a little bit of all of it that could be true.
Yeah.
But, well, first of all, they say that humans.
That would be us.
Yes.
Mostly.
Like other primates, they have breast development during pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
Which humans do as well. But humans are the only animals that have breast development at puberty just for the hell of it.
Just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, it signals fertility. It signals young and ready for sex. It is almost like a physical symbol that this person is fertile and ready to go.
Yes, I mean I agree with that. In a sense that's what all of puberty does. All of puberty not only prepares your own body for being sexually mature, physically, not emotionally, but it also does signal to a potential mate that you are sexually mature and available, I guess. I mean, I don't know another word for that, but able to be considered a mate. Right.
So subliminally, just the fact that the breasts are getting larger means there's stuff going on here. So down through the ages, large boobs have become a symbol for that. And now just seeing that, it does something to you.
And not to mention that during a woman's menstrual cycle, we don't
even talk about that.
When she's ovulating, her breasts will swell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get even bigger.
They're going to explode.
When they're ready to actually be fertile and have a baby.
Wow.
So, but there was something else, another point I wanted to make about the whole breastfeeding thing.
Okay.
And that is that you said the whole oxytocin is released during breastfeeding.
Yes.
And I've also heard of women who will actually be brought to orgasm while breastfeeding their baby.
I've heard those. I've not met them yet.
I personally... I wouldn't shame anybody for something like that.
No, why shame? Everybody's body's different.
Right.
Some people, I guess, I've never met them either, just don't even want you to touch it.
Yeah.
I always feel like, and I don't know because I don't know the examples of this, but like if you're in a culture where the women don't wear shirts, you see them sometimes on documentaries.
Sure.
And I always wonder if in that culture, if there is any kind of stimulation or play, or if it's just like your arm. It's just like, I don't care.
It's just part of your body. Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, is that considered?
Do they have a sensitivity there? I mean, still they do have to breastfeed, and I'm assuming there's still that hormone that's released or whatever. So maybe, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I would like to know.
It's just not.
If you're from a culture that doesn't wear a shirt, please send an email to This Epic Disaster.
Let us know.
Let us know.
If this is actually part of the mating ritual
Yeah.
of your culture.
I don't know. It's just something, I mean, I guess everybody thinks about boobs, but I just don't like having that feeling that I don't have control over certain things. Mm-hmm. In other words, I will click on something online, just put a boob on it. Just put boobs, I will click it. Or I will buy those chips if they have
boobs.
Or beer.
Boob chips.
I mean, you put Elvira on something, on some beer, I'll go buy that beer.
See, for me, you put a long pair of beautiful, like, built legs.
She's got those.
I'm gonna buy that.
She's like 70 now, though.
Yeah, she is.
She's still, I would buy them. But I don't know. I don't know. I had to do some research. I don't know. This is not one. I don't know if this is a subject we want to solicit people's opinion on. I feel like that could get kind of weird.
I think it's just something that deserves conversation, like we just had. But I don't necessarily think we need to take it any further.
I'm very intrigued by the whole chest boob thing. I never heard that
chest
angle.
Butt.
Chest butt.
You said chest boob.
Yeah, that's double.
That's kind of an actual thing.
It's like 4 boobs. The chest butt. I never heard that angle where the chest developed in response to the behind kind of. I don't know. I think that's some weird theories going on there. But still, I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
All right.
I'm a fan.
Alrighty then. So let me ask you this.
We're going to change the subject quickly now.
No, in just a minute. I just wanted to say that I will be honest with you that when I'm in the mood to show off part of what I got.
You mean during the podcast?
No.
Oh.
Just like if I'm going out and I want to look good, you know?
Oh, you mean you want to highlight.
Kind of flaunt what you got?
Sure.
I tend to go with the cleavage.
Yeah.
A, it's the easiest thing to flaunt.
Right.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
and B, when it's done up properly, I guess I think that it's probably my best feature. So, and I think a lot of women feel that way, and I don't know if they feel that way because that's the reaction they've received from other people, or if they honestly feel that way. Like some people might say, my hips are my best feature, or whatever.
Legs.
I don't agree with that, but. Then again, I'm also hypercritical. So who knows? Maybe it's just what you get the most reaction from is what you believe to be your best feature.
Well, from a guy's standpoint, too, there's this movement very recently that says not a lot, but a good amount of women that will just say, don't sexualize my boobs. Don't sexualize my breasts. That's not for that. That's about. And then you turn right around and everybody's sexualizing. And it's not just men that are doing it. Women sexualize it too, just like you said. It's your feature. Why is it your best feature? Because it's sexy and it draws men and you want to highlight it. And so you can't blame men for looking if you're putting it out to look at. So we get really kind of neurotic when you've got a nice cleavage and you're showing it and you're like, my eyes are up here. Stop looking. And it's like, well, put it away then, because it's there to look at.
Yeah, but now you're getting into a completely not cool conversation in which you could take that to the next level, where those same men that are like, well, then put your boobs away and I won't have to look at them, are like principals in schools where they tell girls they can't wear short skirts because they can't control themselves from looking. You're getting into a weird conversation.
I don't think you should ever tell anybody what they can and can't look at. Now, touching, sure. Making comments, sure.
There are schools.
But it becomes very dangerous when you start telling people you can't look at that. Don't look at that particular person. Don't look at that face. Don't look at my hands. I don't want you seeing my hands.
No, you're right. There is a converse or a saying, a phrase that's like even a cat can look at a king.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. You can look at whatever the hell you want to look at.
But that's not really my point. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying you have a faction of women who want to sexualize breasts, and you have another faction of women who say don't. And so we're kind of stuck in the middle, because we're all for the whole sexualizing breast. But just because we sexualize breasts, it doesn't mean we want to come up and touch. we do like to look, and we do think it's sexy, just like you said it was sexy, and you want to highlight it because it's a sexy feature. We want to appreciate it because it's a sexy feature.
Right.
I can't talk for all men. There are some dudes that are going to be disgusting. Sure. I don't make comments, especially on strangers or whatever. I'm not going to do all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
But you can still appreciate it. You can appreciate. I walk down the street and see strangers in yoga pants that I can appreciate. I don't have to make a comment, but I can still. I mean, and if you don't want someone looking, why are you wearing the yoga pants? Because it's highlighting every single thing you got. So I can look.
Maybe they're going to yoga.
That's good. That's fine. Go to yoga. But they're also, in the restaurant. So when they're in the restaurant, I have a right to just look? I don't have to comment.
Looking is one thing. Ogling is another.
I'm sorry. When I'm wearing a kilt, the women that make comments to me, it's a double standard.
Oh, I agree.
It's a double standard. But I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind if dudes. I don't mind if a gay guy looks at me. I don't mind if a woman looks at me. I couldn't care less. I don't want somebody to come and put their hand up under there.
Right.
I don't want them touching. And I don't really want them saying anything about it to me. Look all you want. Don't make crude comments. Don't come up and say, what you wearing under there? Because then I'm not going to go over and say, what's under there?
Right.
I'm not going to say that.
Right, because you'll be smacked and kicked out of whatever venue you're at. But women and men who say that to you because you're wearing a kilt don't get any repercussion.
Most of the time they do not. And most of the time they're drunk. So it wouldn't make a difference. Well, I don't know if we should have even talked about the boob stuff. It's just something that I was thinking a lot about. And then when I saw the scientific things about it, I found it very intriguing, very interesting.
It is definitely an interesting conversation.
Why at least some scientists think we might be attracted
to boobies.
Which
is what I call my own. So don't get all weird about
boobs. It's always fun to know what people call them, especially women, what they refer to them as. It's interesting.
I would say that the most time I call them boobs.
I always call them Laverne and Shirley.
Wait, mine? Specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically yours.
Cheri, Laverne, and Shirley are coming over tonight.
Right.
Let's make extra soup.
You know, what we should do is start winding down our podcast, and we do that by talking about what we think of this beer. What do you think of the beer Viking Scottish Sour Ale?
I am a fan.
Me too.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I am enjoying this. The only problem I have with it, and I'm not sure I mentioned this when we introduced the beer, is that it's only 5% alcohol by volume. Which,
so it's basically Kool-Aid. Pickle juice Kool-Aid.
Pickle juice with Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds disgusting. But, people eat those Kool-Aid pickles. Have you seen those?
No.
They're gross as fuck.
Okay. That I really shouldn't have said that, because there's nothing about that tastes like Kool-Aid. It doesn't have a fruity taste. It really doesn't have a sweet taste. Nope. But I will say it tastes a lot like pickle juice. It's very, very sour.
It's more sour than pickle juice.
Maybe you may be right about that.
Because I drink pickle juice on occasion.
Well, now we had, and I want to say it was Blue Sunday from New Holland Brewing Company.
Right.
And it was a sour, and we were both a little disappointed in that one.
Indeed.
Because it was just sour and it didn't have a flavor. This is almost like that, but it does have a little bit of flavor to it.
It's got great flavor.
Yeah.
Personally, I like it. It is a Scottish ale. I can taste that flavor in there.
Not heavy on the flavor,
not heavy.
It's more sour than anything else, but it does have a flavor.
But yummy.
So what do you think? What if you're giving it a ranking on the star scale, the Viking Scottish Sour Ale, you would say? I'm
going to give it, to be honest with you, as sour it is, and as sour as it is, excuse me. Now, mind you, I've already had a vodka, so this is not the beer coming out. I want to give it a 4.
Yeah.
Because I like how much sour it has. It's got a punch.
Yep.
But I'm only going to give it a 3.5.
Okay.
I think that it should have a bit more flavor to it.
Just a little more.
Yeah, and honestly, I'll be honest. The reason I'm taking that half of a point away is because
you want another one.
No, because I want it to be a higher octane beer.
Oh.
I want it to be more than 5% alcohol.
Yeah, that would be my gripe. I'd like to have a little more. We had that discussion where I was just like, can they control that? I don't know. I'd like to think they could, but I have no idea. I'm still giving it a 4 because it might be my favorite sour so far.
Really?
So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.
Okay.
And I might go have another one.
Well, there's 4
There's
total.
two more left.
So there's 2 left.
I like it. I think it's one of the sourest that we've had.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the fruity taste. We had some sour fruities that were good. This one's just straight out, if you like Scottish ale, it's got that
sour.
kind of beery ale kind of flavor. But
Did you just
sour.
say beery?
I did say beery, but yes, really sour. It's good. I would, again, most of these kind lose their carbonation pretty quick. That'd be my only gripe.
Okay. And mine is the low amount of alcohol.
I have that one too, so I'll give those 2. But I'm still giving it a 4.
Good
I
for
like
you.
it.
Good for you.
I like
Okay.
it. Like it a lot. So please, what do we say? This comes from North Carolina? That's a...
Oh, I didn't even say
The
that. I
brewing
just said
company?
the brewing company is D9 Brewing. But
I think it's North Carolina.
It is
I'm not sure.
handcrafted and bottled by District 9. See, I told you it was District 9 Brewing
Okay.
in Cornelius, North Carolina at d9brewing.com.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's the show for this week, people. We have a lot of things to talk about next week. We had a lot today, but we kind of ran a little bit long, so I decided to cut it. I do want to say a few things. Our website has been down off and on this week because I've switched hosting companies. Finally, we might have some consistency on our website because I was very unhappy with what we had.
Yeah.
But you can still go there and vote for our 2018 summer playlist. People have added a lot of songs, and they need your votes. If the website is down when you go, come back and try it again. We're going to extend voting an extra week because the website was down. So you can still have an opportunity to vote, and please do. We have hopefully some guests. Every time we schedule a guest, it gets canceled. And I always feel like maybe I shouldn't say it. But we are working on some guests for the summer, so it's not just going to be us yakking. If you have some ideas of people you would like to hear on this podcast,
Let us know.
let us know. Anything that you want to let us know, all you got to do is send us an email at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a line there. You can go to our regular website, thisepicdisaster.com. Did I say gmail.com? I did. So you could go there. We're also on Instagram. We're on Twitter.
We are.
We're on YouTube.
We are.
We're going to have a video soon.
We are going to do our best to do a 4th of July
That's-
which is a live podcast.
Hopefully
which
that'll
we'll
happen.
do probably on... Are we going to do the Facebook Live thing again?
It'll be some live. It'll either be Facebook or YouTube. And then
We'll let you know.
People can tune in. If they don't want to tune in, they can watch the video later.
Yeah.
I will be out of town for a week. And then I think I'm getting back on the 3rd.
So we'll see if that happens.
So I'll drag myself in.
We're not going to
and
promise.
It'll be interesting. But
Because
I
Rick
think we
gets
can
really
do it.
old and sick
I just have to
afterwards.
clean up in here. I don't want this on. I don't want our.
Oh, we're
my
not doing it in here like this.
messy-
Oh, hell no.
My messy
no,
studio
no.
needs to be all kind of cleaned
This
up.
is nasty.
We have some other announcements coming up, and we also have our great T-shirt, which I mentioned. Mm-hmm. We'll have that. Stickers are free. Again, if you want a sticker, thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Send us a line. Just tell us where to send the stickers. We'll send them to you.
Yep.
And then I think I'm going to get the black and whites. I think this design will look good in black and white.
I think you're right.
So I'm going to get that as well.
Look forward for that.
And so you can request that.
Yep. All right. So
Is that
thank you.
it? Did we
That's
do
it.
everything?
We're done. Let's let them go.
I got one more story really quick I want to read. And then, yes, I'm going to read this really quick. It's really short.
Most people have already turned the podcast off.
I know, but they can quit. All right. I just wanted to read this. I found this. We do the misconnections.
Oh, fuck.
When I was looking for misconnections, I found this. Now, I'm not going to read where this comes from, but someone posted this on Craigslist. We should have talked about this. We'll talk about it next week.
Then why are you reading it now?
It's a teaser. The headline says, "Need actors or fellow crazy people good at lying." So here it says, "All right, guys, I need a male and a female willing to go to coffee with my father and I think that's father and me, and save my ass by pretending to be my boss and his coworker. Why, you might ask? Do I not have a boss? Nope, I actually do, and he's quite nice. It's because my clinically OCD father is going to make an ass of himself, and maybe I'm crazy, but I'd like to keep my new job." So he's going to hire...
Yep.
He said his dad was clinically OCD. I think he is clinically OCD. He's going to hire strangers to play his... That's not right. That's just not right.
I actually think it's brilliant
What's brilliant?
doing that rather than losing your job because of your dad.
I don't know. I think that you're lying. I don't know. I think that that's wrong. But we'll talk about that next week. How about if we talk about it next week?
What are we going to talk about next week?
Why are you taking a picture?
I'm not taking a
right
picture.
Here at the very end. Are you videotaping?
I am.
Is this going to be like evidence you're videotaping so that next week you can go, yeah, see, we said we're going to talk about that, and we did it.
Right.
Anyway, I'm going to be drinking my beer, but we need to sign off right now. So everybody, thanks for joining us, and join us next week. Please, please.
Bye.